Hey everybody, it's Tim Heidecker from On Cinema checking in with you guys. One more week. Got a couple more weeks to go before the big election. And I'm watching the news every day. I'm obsessed with this stuff. I love it. And I think that there's gonna be a big surprise. I think that's what's gonna happen. I think there's gonna be all the pundits and all the people that think they know all the answers to everything are gonna wake up the day after the election and say, What? I don't know. But that's what the polls said." And it's going to be hysteria. But it's going to be good for me and you. So before we get into the show, I just want to say a couple words about gold. Goldline International, goldline.com, is the only place you need to go to if you're thinking about investing in gold. And if you're not thinking about investing in gold, then I don't know what you're thinking, because the best place to put your money these days is in precious metals, and there's no more precious metal than gold. Check out goldline.com. They've been around for 50 years. If you're a first-time buyer, they offer protection. You have the right to refund, and they've got a price guarantee. So it's all you need to know. Check out Goldline. I'd love a Priceline sponsor, anyways. I would love for you guys to check out goldline.com. It is the only place you get gold on the internet, so check it out. My guest today is film buff, film historian, and great guy to know is Gregg Turkington. Thanks for coming on the show, Greg.
Hey, guys.
And we're going to be talking about a movie that I caught on Netflix. I don't know if you have Netflix, Greg, but
I do.
And it is really a great way to see movies that you might have forgotten about. But this one just came out.
I thought we were doing The Fifth Element.
No, we're going to be talking about Atlas Shrugged.
All right, because you'd said that we were going to do The Fifth Element this week, so I had rewatched it.
Well, I apologize, but things change, and in this case, our movie changed, and it's my show, and I have the right to do that. So, have you seen Atlas Shrugged?
No, I haven't seen that one.
All right.
It got, it didn't get a big release, and it was sort of, from what I hear, it's not very good.
It was fantastic. It was a terrific thriller. If anyone's familiar with the book, it's a book by Ayn Rand called Atlas Shrugged, and it is really a parable, is the best word for it, about the struggle of the individual, and you have this story basically about a railroad owner who gets the big government, the central government, Big Brother, the Obama administration really comes in and shuts them down and doesn't let them build these trains. We were talking about Runaway Train a few weeks ago, Greg. This would be right up your alley because it has a lot to do with trains. But it's a great movie. It's a great thriller. But it also, man, is it amazing that this woman who wrote the book had this amazing insight into the future, that it's exactly what's happening in the country right now. So it's stunning to watch. I know the sequel, I think, just came out, and it hasn't come to Netflix yet. So I'm dying to wait for that, because the book is so long that they had to break it up into two episodes, almost like a Star Wars kind of thing. But Greg, so you haven't seen this?
No, I haven't seen this one. As I said, it wasn't very highly regarded. I think it was a film you could miss, and
that's
feel bad that you missed it.
That's because you're reading the garbage that you get that gets put in front of you by the lamestream media. They want you to believe a certain thing. So if a movie comes out that doesn't stick to their doctrine, they're of course going to give it a bad review. Why would you think that would get a good review? It's like, of course it's going to get a bad review.
I mean, there aren't any name actors in it, and it's just not a film that interests most moviegoers. And it's certainly not The Fifth Element.
Well, it's not going to be because you know why it's not a lot of mainstream actors? Because those people are all, they've all swallowed the poison, they've all swallowed the pill, and they're not going to be a part of a movie that actually tells the truth, So
yeah, well, I mean,
Taylor Schilling is in the movie. Grant Bowler, there's some good actors in this movie. The acting's great.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Well, I mean, I was told we were doing The Fifth Element, and then you come in with these gold ads that I don't even think you're getting paid for. Um, it's not. This isn't about the movie. This is about. Sorry. This isn't about the movie. It's just another excuse to hijack this show with
No.
this politics that nobody wants to hear. And
yes, they do.
People are telling me I'm getting Twitters from people saying, "Let's
fuck,
get back. Let's get back to the movies."
Fuck that, Greg. Those people, They're all trying to make a joke of this, and they think that they're goading you along, and there's just as many people on that site and on other sites, on the fucking website on cinemapodcast.com, where you see the comments. People are back and forth. It is not just people not wanting to hear me talk about this shit. It's people that want to. There's some people that do and some people that don't. And there's a lot of people that keep their mouths shut, what I like to call the silent majority, who know that they're just enjoying listening to the show. Well, don't come on my fucking show and say that people don't want to listen to this shit.
Well, I'm going to be part of the silent majority soon, because I don't have anything to say about this stuff. I have a lot of information about movies I'm happy to share with people, but if we're not going to talk about movies, especially when I prepared for this episode by rewatching The Fifth Element, which I've already seen 10 times, but I did the research, and if you don't want my expertise, then this could very well be my last episode.
All right. I apologized already for changing the episode on you, okay? I already made that apology. I was clear on that. I'm sorry I did that. If you're not up to date on the big movies that come out, like Atlas Shrugged Part 1 that came out in 2011, I don't know why you didn't see that. You should be ready to talk about these movies. You should be ready if I throw any movie that comes out that's been in wide release that people have seen.
This doesn't even count as a movie because nobody has seen this movie. This is a private project that somebody made, and it's just an excuse for you. I mean, if you switched it to 12 Monkeys or something like that, I could probably go with it. But I haven't seen this movie. Most critics, most film buffs,
most critics haven't seen this movie.
No, they don't. Oh. They wouldn't bother watching it.
Most critics. I just want to get your quote on this. Most critics haven't seen this movie.
Yep.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, then stand by. Talk about The Fifth Element for a minute.
Well, that's a great movie, but with Bruce Willis, and it's a lot better than this one. It's a science fiction. It's got Gary Oldman is in it, and
Well, I just back to your point. Most critics, quote Gregg Turkington, most critics didn't see Atlas Shrugged, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, because I've got Rotten Tomatoes up here, and it's Clarina Cacciano from the New York Times, Roger Morris, Orlando Sentinel, Sean Monroe, What Culture, Bruce Bretlett.
And they're all reviews dismissing the film, I'm sure, because this isn't...
So what? That's not what you said. Brian Miller, LA Weekly, Ken Hanks, Mountain Express, great, Prairie Miller, Newsblaze, Tim Brayton, Rob Goss. This is Peter Travers from Rolling Stone, for Christ's sake. Peter Travers, Richard Brody from the New Yorker.
Well, you're just making up names.
No, I'm not. I'm looking at it right here. Anybody can go.
Anybody can put anything on the internet. So you could just type a bunch of names and set up a website. I'm looking at
RottenTomatoes.com. I searched for Atlas Shrugged and found just hundreds of reviews.
Yeah,
there's 45 reviews.
It's probably RottenTomatoes.com, but it's a 0 instead of an O.
No, it's not.
R0TTE.
Listen to this from Peter Travers.
These aren't real reviews.
This is from Peter Travers. Ayn Rand's monumental 1,168-page 1957 novel gets the low-budget, no-talent treatment and sits there flapping on screen like a bludgeoned seal. So that's a bad review. And that's from Peter Travers, part of the liberal media, so I'm not surprised. But the idea that you're suggesting that no critics saw this movie is not true. And it's another example of why you don't bring a reliable perspective on films to this show. You don't.
Well, that's ridiculous. I mean, you don't know anything about films, and you're just using this to talk about politics, and I'm not going to come back here unless we can get back to what the podcast was successful at, which was information, trivia, facts, figures, behind the scenes information that I had to impart about these films.
All right. Well, there's never been. I've done episodes of this show before without a guest, and I've done show episodes with other guests. It's not necessary for me to have a guest. It's not necessary for me to have you as a guest.
Well, it's necessary if you want any behind the scenes information. If you just want to read the names of critics that reviewed something, then yeah, you don't need me.
All right. Well, there we have it, folks. We have dissension in the ranks. And, sometimes when you believe what you believe, sometimes you come up against people who do not believe what you believe. And frankly, those people, it's their loss. And that's a lesson that everybody has to learn at some point in their life.
Well, the loss is going to be the loss of listeners.
I'm turning your mic off. I'm turning your mic off. Okay? I've had enough listening to you tell me how to run my show. Thank you guys so much. And if you haven't seen Atlas Shrugged, I think that it's a good movie. It has problems, but it tells a great story, and you should listen to it. I gotta go.